Scouting. It is a minefield, right? There's lots of anecdotal evidence about how scouts work. I'm going to give you some actual evidence to help you make decisions about how you go about scouting your next potential wonderkid. So I've waded through and categorized hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of scout reports to show you what the effect of judging potential ability actually does, how it really works, what can be trusted, and what can't. And as always, I'll throw some data up to back up what I'm saying. So here, we're not talking about whether a player will develop. We are just talking about whether they have the potential to develop. And we're looking at them at 100% scouting knowledge. So depending on the country that you're scouting from and to, and the knowledge of your scouts, that might take some time. Once you've reached that 100% scouting knowledge of a player, this is what the scouts will show you. So as I run through this, I'm assuming you know about current ability and potential ability. Current ability just ranks how good a player's attributes are at the moment, between 0 and 200. Potential ability does exactly the same about how good a player could be in the future. And that's really what we want to know. We want to know how good they can possibly be in the future with the right training. So scouts don't give you a potential ability number. They give you a star rating. And this star rating compares how good a player is versus how good your team is. So when I had a team of players of 80 current ability, so pretty average, when I scouted players of 120 current ability, those 120 potential ability players came up as 5-star ratings with our top scouts. Like, they were definitely 5-star for our team. However, when we have a team that is 120 current ability ourselves, other players of 120 potential ability come up as like 3.5 stars to us. It takes up to 160 to then become a 5-star player in our scouts' eyes. However, I had a team full of 200 current ability players and scouted other 200 current ability players. Everybody everywhere, 5 stars. Just because a player has a 5-star rating does not make him a wonderkid. Depending on your team, he could occupy a whole range of potential abilities. So there's 2 things that really matter about how our scouts work. One is obviously their judging potential ability skill. How does that work? And is it really worth going for like 20-star judging potential ability scouts when maybe you could go for people with better knowledge of better continents? So how accurate is the scout report as they age year after year after year? I'm going to show you this all. And if it's useful to you, please just hit this video with a like. So first up, you've got your yellow stars and your white stars. Now, once you're at 100% knowledge, between ages 15 and 21, you will have 1 white star extra on all your players. And this is sort of a nailed-on unknown, just to give a bit of variation in your scout reports. But after 21, this drops. So once you hit 22, you're into the serious business. So I have scouted hundreds of players, all with set star ratings, set potential abilities, and with scouts of differing judging potential. I've run this through a huge data set, so there's tons of replicates in all of this, and I can be quite confident on the data I'm going to show you. So initially for 5-star players, you can see that actually, even at 4 judging potential, most scouts give most players a 5-star rating all the way through their development, no matter what our judging potential skill is. However, we start to see differences when we're looking at slightly lower potential. So at 4.5 star, we see that the dark blue line, the judging potential 20 scouts, they're accurate, still really know their stuff, and come 22, they figured out that this guy's not a 5-star player, he's a 4.5 star player. However, when your judging potential is only like 12 and below, this can start to be a bit inaccurate, and can start overestimating his potential. And now I've also done this with 4-star players. And what we've done is we've included more levels of scouting here. So we've got 20, 16, 14, 12, and the original 4 judging potential scout ability. And what you can see here is that what judging potential really does is it reduces the age at which your scouts really become accurate. So you can see here that actually, so the judging potential 20 scout has actually noticed that your wonderkid at age 18 is actually not all he's made out to be, whereas the other scouts still think actually, this guy could be a world beater, mate. And when we get to about age 20, judging potential 16, judging potential 14 scouts, they're also noticing the same thing. However, our 12 and our useless 4 judging potential scouts, they've not got a clue. So what do we know from this? Scouts, they rarely underestimate a player's potential. You're rarely going to see a scout identify a player as 4-star and him actually be higher than that. They're much more likely to overestimate the ability of a player. It's important to know what the judging potential of your scouts are, because then you have an idea of what age they're starting to reliably give you information on that kid's actual potential ability. So if you've got good judging potential scouts and they're still showing a kid at sort of 18, 19 as a 5-star, you are probably onto a winner. And now, one more spanner for your works. The current ability of a player affects what a scout thinks the potential of your player actually is. So I took scouts of 20 judging potential and I got them to scout 4.5-star players at a whole age range. But initially, I set them with a very low current ability, and then I set them with a very high current ability. And you can see here that there is quite a disparity in what the overall star rating of the player is. So, what can we take from this? Well, you need to be wary of players that already look amazing, that might be getting bumped up by your scouts. Similarly, just because a player has low stats initially and still has a high scouting rating, there's a good chance that they could still be the next wonderkid. So I hope this has helped in the minefield that is Football Manager scouting. If you'd like to see more stats-based analysis of Football Manager, check out this playlist. Otherwise, I'll catch you in a bit.